design these policies.
Gabby Okyere to sit down to design these policies.
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if these are the people who are, because it's very clear that the people who design these economic policies and bring them to us don't understand economics. Anytime they can actually say, for economy, Ghana economy is 9 million, so the monetary front and the fiscal front. The fiscal front near taxes, monetary front near Bank of Ghana. So the fiscal front is handled by the Ministry of Finance. The monetary front is handled by the Bank of Ghana. Now in NPP, for you to achieve economic progress and development, the fiscal front and the monetary front must complement each other. They must work in tandem to give you a holistic economic development. In NPP, the monetary front is like the benchmark. Say, a bank here, na say inflation air cost.
Yeah.
The central bank at the MPC committee, they monitors daily inflation. Into the MPC committee, when inflation cost, what they do is that they will increase the policy rate. When they increase the policy rate, it will reduce spending and bring inflation down.
Yeah.
Because most of inflations are demand pull inflation. And they work in tandem. But the problem is that as a government, you don't always want to increase the policy rate. Because when you increase the policy rate, it has an effect on interest rate. The interest rate also have an effect on lending rate. So when the policy rate goes up, definitely interest rates will go up. Lending rates goes up in the banks. Yesterday year we now the policy rate was about 27%. Bank of Ghana was lending at about 30%. The commercial banks were lending to businesses about 40 to 45%, depending on where you go to. Kwabena, who ye business na ukopo busia at an interest rate of 40%.
Nancy will say ya.
Ejuma be na odi say sika ne kwakoye. Uko obey production at what cost? No be turn saying and obi oti China. The interest rate is 1.5%. Obi oti America. The interest rate is sometimes less than 1%. Japan credit sometimes it be credit. Yeah.
Say Uncle Boche can say. Okoba to say Cote d'Ivoire. A machine company be plastic company, paints and something company. Or more relocate to Cote d'Ivoire
because even in your neighboring countries now. Or
no business environment.
Time now Ghana your banks were lending at a commercial rate of 40%. Togo higher interest rate. Bank interest rate was 16. Was the average was between 16 to 18%. Togo higher. And who will produce the same item?
Yeah. And I say companies need to Togo or be produce na Ghana and Yako Faba.
Exactly. And nothing and Togo because now Busian is 16% and 40%. Then I so maybe some say all the time Bank of Ghana in the interest say they will manage the policy rate in such a way say the lending rate won't go up. But the moment inflation goes up, the central bank is inclined to increase the policy rate. So as a government, the finance ministry, the responsibility is here. Or the policies be bar, some policies and driving inflation and cost. So that pressure will not come on the central bank to increase the policy rate, which will then in turn increase the lending rate. Yeah, it's so they depend on each other. Yeah, but share 2024 budget of the core parliament, and almost say or increase VAT by an additional 2.5%. Come say okay.
Yeah.
Almost say the VAT air to electricity so. What you say? saa nneɛma wei nyinaa yɛ ade a ɛyɛ inflation drivers, if you inflation drivers, because VAT is a consumption tax. Once you increase the VAT rate, price of goods and services automatically goes up because the VAT is passed on to the consumer. So inflation will go up automatically. If you put VAT on electricity is an input in production. Once the input in production goes up, it will affect the market price of the product.
No, but the point is, you ain't being a BBR and far. I bind me interesting who's okay. Now, my percent production cost for 7 years and crop for a bit me enya a year a quenya tonyama our nebo no work from Kakra. That is the consumers. So let me do something about the electricity. And let me do something about the water.
And nothing I make say sometimes me nim wo mo tena se be san hye we eden san hye we eba because sen komo dwene
na bia o masada
ebi so they simply want to punish Ghanaians because it simply does not make sense, because the economic policies are just at par. The fiscal policies are at par with the monetary policies, so you can't achieve any synergy. This is the reason why our economy is the way it is. Kwabena,
it's for your domestic some jebre and you find some way in Chomokakra. Na, I'm say, Nakoponya my coming say
campaign or car say, I am going to move the focus of the economy from taxation to production. No, I thought to say, not Dr. Baumia, or the fiscal policy, I say. I thought so. I have done economics up to the master's level. I was taught that fiscal policies, there are two types of fiscal policies. There are contractionary fiscal policies and expansionary fiscal policies. Because taxes are a double-edged sword. You can use taxes to grow the economy. You can use taxes to kill the economy.
When you are no modi
into contractional into
the case I got the third point in the bio. Yeah, no, economy, economics,
No, but it falls in the second one where would they kill the economy?
The contractional fiscal policies. Is it contractional fiscal policies? No, come on.
Anyway,
the contractional fiscal policies come point
because I pack getting here.
So the contractional fiscal policies in the same. And all your taxes are introduced to certain aspects of the economy where you want to discourage spending. What I say to refocus spending towards a particular direction. So you introduce certain policies in certain areas to contract
policies where sir.
For example, you find say the importation of rice so.
Yeah.
Now consumers talk more local rice.
Yeah.
So what you do is that you increase the taxes, the import taxes on maybe rice. What you say? So the rice the bonnet
So which means you agree with the current import taxes on rice. So with this government, you agree with them?
It depends on how it is. How you implement it. Economic policy is how you implement it. It is not blanket. They make a say. So you must look at.
So the next question is how now or more.
Avision for Mobidi Akoban Fambra, 2K News and Blogs. Avision for latest news and updates. I hold one Saka. Anamedeba, Ababesum or channel ways and Messrs. Wadarma. Yebako, Niakakuti, Niakaku video. Nanzana, versus Ubuni and Dequason. Nan subscribe here. Now subscribe edit a my channel way. We are not Philip Face or Betcha Wagging or comment section or dear Hontier. And they can edit. I'm not like it. No, I share. I'm a for phones in your video in the Yanko. Ni nkutie nsɛm no da